But a discard mechanic could absolutely work if it was like if it was something like you just get rid of your other skill, the one other than the one you selected, and depending on it, and then that skills get discarded. Something like that could work, but it would be weird. We've been at it for about 2 days, perhaps. We were able to defeat a considerable number of trash grabs and collect enough scrap to fill a whole wagon and then some.
네, 이 정도면
Oh
해볼
no,
수
it's...
있겠네요.
Oh yeah, you can't see the boat things, but there's a little tarp in front of it. But yeah, you can see the boat-like shape already starting. Alright, I think this will be enough for us to get started. She has discarded her mechanic. That's how she was too good at her own discarded mechanic that she accidentally discarded it. Yeah, you're right.
휴, 그럼 이제 쉬어도 되는 거지? 들려? 어깨 돌릴 때마다 뚜둑 소리 나고 있잖아.
Let me rest now. Listen, I can hear my shoulders creaking with every move.
로자 씨, 그러니까 겁이라도 주는 것 같잖아요.
Okay,
자제를.
can you stop that? It looks like you're flexing at them.
뭐 개조를 하는 데 드는 시간도 있을 테니 적어도 며칠은 즐길 수 있겠어.
It'll take some time to modify the bus, so we'll have at least a few days to enjoy. Though this place doesn't exactly resemble a tourist attraction. Dinners were all busy, stretching and chattering, relieved that the work was finally over. But I had a terrible feeling that this was probably not the end of our toil.
네?
Never is.
쉬기는 뭘 쉬어요?
Enjoy what?
어?
Of course. I knew it.
제가 말한 건 이제 시작만 해볼 수 있겠다고 말한 거예요.
Said it was enough to get started.
타는 것은
Which means
당연히 더 주워오셔야죠.
you'll have to go collect more scrap, of course.
참고 삼아. 그 양은
How much more to be exact?
지금의 한 5배?
About 5 times the amount you've collected so far.
미카, 후륜 쪽도 포함해야 할 것 같은데.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on the we're gonna have to work on the rear wheels too.
7배로 방금 막
Sorry,
늘어났어요.
7 times.
지금까지 효율을 고려하면 적절한 휴식은 취하지 못하겠군.
Considering our current productivity rate, it seems that we will not be provided with adequate rest.
기존보다 수면에 할애하던 시간을 줄이는 편이 좋을 것이다.
Reducing the time dedicated to sleep would be contributive to our collective effort. Mersault's like, okay, we must push ourselves further. Woo, scrap. The chapter's called Woo, scrap.
이럴 수는
No.
없는가요?
This cannot
이럴
be. We
순
simply
없어.
God is having a mental breakdown. Don Quixote looked as though she was about to collapse, a woeful look on her face.
아니, 있잖아. 이런 고철 덩어리들을 주워온다고 작업이 되긴 되는 거야?
Hang on a sec, though. How does collecting these pieces of scrap even help modify the bus?
그야 고철을 적당히 볼트로 결합하는 방식이라면 죽도 밥도 안 되겠지만
Of course, if we were simply bolting these scraps onto the bus willy-nilly, it wouldn't amount to much.
요사의 특이점을 이용해 결합하는 과정을 거치면 마치
Fusion?
처음부터 자신의 부속품이었던
We
것처럼
shrimply
기능하게
cannot.
할 수 있으니까요.
Using U-Corp's singularity to fuse the parts, we can make them work as though they were tailor-made for the bus. Ursula is a genuine workaholic and needs to get a vacation. He really does. So U-Corp's singularity fusing things. Interesting. Oh, unite, that's the joke. U stands for unite on the surface, but it's gonna have a secret meaning behind the line. Yeah, that's an easy enough one.
걔네 특이점이라면 무슨 음식 완벽히 포장하는 기술 아니었어?
U-Corp, I thought they deal with some kind of a food packaging
뜯기
tech.
전까지는 절대
Oh, yeah.
내용물이 변하지 않는
But-
그런 거였는데? 거기서 제조했던 통조림도 요긴하게 먹고 그랬었는데.
You know, stuff that stops the content inside from spoiling or changing in any way until you open the package? I used to eat a bunch of their canned food. So, the U-Corp stasis box isn't their main singularity, it's like a different thing?
어째 누님과 똑같은 말씀을 하시네요.
음.
전체마다 특이점을 활용한 여러 기술들이 있을
Funny,
수도
Big
있는
Sis said the
거잖아요.
exact same thing. Some nests have more than one way of using their singularity, in case you don't know. So it's the same singularity, and you can use it to connect things together and to preserve food. So does Unite really fit if that's the case? Unite fits. The idea of U-Corp being Unite fits for that first idea, but the whole preserving food thing. U-Corp will be connected to the ego that Mersault has. And that's probably going to be N-Corp stuff. You know, the barrier. U-Corp might do a bunch of stuff, like W-Corp having 2 singularities. That is true. One of them could be their actual thing, because W-Corp has their singularity is the white. That's their main singularity, but they also have the rights to the actual dimensional travel technology used by a former corporation that fell, because it couldn't manage to make use of its singularity before, collapsing on itself. Could be something like that. The barrier might not be a singularity then, or maybe that is possibly V-Corp Veil stuff. U-Corp could be Upgrade. That's true, yep, Upgrade's also a potential idea. I feel like if they're 2 singularities, it has to be the same thing, though. I feel like uniting stuff in the preservation boxes, I feel like that's not the kind of thing that would have 2 different singularities, because W-Corp has 2 singularities because they work hand in hand for their one main product. But the fact that it's 2 different products from U-Corp means that it probably is one singularity with multiple applications. At least that's my train of thought right now. I would upgrade... Connecting the idea of unite... I guess we'll see. They're probably going to talk more about it.
원리만 활용한다면 근본적인 특이점을 기반으로 얼마든지 활용하여 A사의 기반 특허를 낼 수 있습니다.
Resonance tuning for...
U사에서는
The working principle is the same. One can always utilize the singularity's fundamentals to patent a singularity-based technology at A-Corp. U-Corp is not only known for its stasis preservation packaging, but also for its resonance tuning fork. Utilize the singularity fundamentals to patent a singularity-based technology. So it's saying that U-Corp has 3 different things now. Stasis preservation packaging, resonance tuning fork, and then the connecting thing? And that robot Abno might be connected to U-Corp. Which one? Do you mean, the Hurtley one? The actual... I forget what the main one called, because Hurtley's like a sub-Abno. Hurtley was created by the You Must Become Strong. That's the name of the Abno. Possibly. I don't know. Resonance tuning fork. She's bothered by those words. Oh. Music got serious. And she's talking about Ahab. Entwined, fused with things. And she'd devour them all. Is this though they'd never even existed? Unison. Yeah, that's unite, unison, something like that. What is Ishmael talking about here, though? Ahab entwined, fused with things, devour them all as if they've never even existed? What? Ishmael, what's the problem? Okay, you need to tell Virgilius immediately. Ishmael's saying stuff, it may be unison. Yeah, I do think it's unite, unison, something along those lines. Union? Wait a second. No, union's a different thing. Ishmael's having a mental breakdown. Ignore her. Yeah, we need to figure out the singularity first, Ishmael. You're having a mental breakdown, that's true. Where is it? Let me find... Where is it? I think it's... Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute to find this thing, but it is vaguely relevant. Is it relevant enough to bring it up? It might be, actually. And you'll see what it is in a second. I just need to sort through my files to find what I'm trying to grab. Where do you think Limbus with death metal could work? Fair enough, I guess. Where is it? I did notice there was no Z-Corp, but it said there's 26 sisters. Yes, I have noticed that a lot. It definitely makes me wonder a lot. Okay, I think I have a very solid idea as to what U-Corp is now. It's kind of fully clicked to me because I've grabbed this from this logo from the Ruina art book. And you might wonder what exactly it is. Like I have going along an absolutely wrong tangent in the book. Look at this logo. This is just a random logo in the The random logo in the art book, it's for Union. We thought it was something about Union Workshop, I think. Something about like the biotechs, but I am wondering if this could be U Corp's logo. Because from what it sounds like, you might be Union. I don't know for sure though, but that's my current possible theory. I'll have to see later. It's from like the concept art of the Runa art book. So I don't know for sure, but I think that might be different. Am I going on a long and absolutely wrong tangent? Maybe. That maybe. There are 25 districts with 26 wings. Yeah, there's Z district, whatever Z is definitely somewhere different. I have wondered about that before, but it seems consistent enough that, like, it's very odd how no one's mentioned it, but it's always 26 districts, 26 wings. But the map doesn't show Z Corp at all. There's a lot going on. I need to just continue. What if U Corp Singular just mashes people together? Mm-hmm. Similar to, like... Huh. Mashes people together. Mashes things together, creates some sort of union of them. Z Corp is zebra. True. So I think... Let me pull the art book back up. This is very tangential, but I think I might be able to find something vaguely relevant. Can I just pull this up? Can I pull up the actual PDF file? If I do window capture... Yeah, here we go. Here's the Ruin art book. So I want to check... Where is it? It's above this part. Yeah, tie-in. No, the weaponry tie-in has equipped as a bionic weapon manufactured by the Workshop Union Co. Bionic weapon side don't care. So maybe Union is unrelated, but maybe this is still, like, this is all conceptual stuff, so none of this is set in stone. It's very possible this Union Co. is U-Corp. But they go by Union Co. Maybe they have workshop functionalities within them, something like that. This is getting far too tangential, though, that's for sure. Whoops. Remove that. Remove that. Back to it we go. Give me a moment, Ishmael. Are you okay?
지금은 충분하지
No,
않아요.
we're not ready. We're inexperienced. We don't know enough about the Great Wake nor about the
고래에
whale.
대한 지식도
There it is.
그래요. 제가 알려드리고 도와드릴게요. 충분한 시간이 지난 후에 도전해야만 하는 곳이에요.
I
저곳은
know, I'll help you up. I'll help you make Virgilius understand. We shouldn't go there, not yet. I'm telling you, that place is...
자꾸 뭐 하자는 거야? 아까 먹은 크랩 차우더인지
What?
뭔지가
What's got you going
잘못되기라도
Marty, eh? What, getting pollywobbles from the crab chowder or something?
다 같이 그 개 같은 개딱지 내장을 긁어먹긴 했지만
We all scraped through the same
전
crab
아직
guts, but I'm
멀쩡해요.
totally fine.
근데 뭐가 문제야? 뭐 지금까지는 우리가
So what's
준비해서
got you throwing a
쳐들어가냐?
wobbly? This ain't the first time we're going in not knowing a nit about what we're doing. We've been dead enough times to get used to it.
죽고 죽어가면서 일을 처리한 게
Dying your way
자랑할
through
거리는
mission
아닌
isn't
거
really something to be
아시죠?
proud of, Heathcliff.
저희가 그냥 해결사였다면 첫 임무부터 진작에 전원 사망으로 순식간에
We were your
협회에서
average
이름이
fixers who would have been
지워졌겠죠.
dead and gone on our very first mission. Our names scraped clean from whatever association's registry.
누가 몰라? 나도 뒷골목 조직 생활하면서 몇 번이나 죽을 뻔했는데 목숨이 하나뿐인 걸
You think me daft?
모르겠냐고.
I've had enough years toiling and brushing with death for the syndicates of the backstreets to know that I've got but one life.
그거랑 다르지. 지금은 시계 대가리 덕분에 여러 번
But it's
살아나고
different now.
있잖아.
Blockface is here to bring us back every time.
지금까지 운이 좋았으니까 멀쩡하게 살아날 수 있었다고 생각하지는 않나
What do you
보죠.
think we've simply been lucky that Dante was able to bring us back intact?
야, 왜 자꾸 못한다고 하는 건데? 환상체한테 머리가 깨져서 뒤졌으면 이번에 다리를 내주고 피하고.
What?
그렇게
What's up with
계속
his
참을 수
attitude?
있는
If an
거야.
abnormality cracks my skull, turn the clock and I'll let it crack my leg next time. We can keep crawling back until they're smashed to pieces. No?
지금껏 겪었던 게
Do you think we've seen everything there is to see at this
그럴
point?
리가 없잖아요.
You know that's not true.
최악의 경우엔 복구가 불가능할 수도 있는 거예요. 시계를 아무리 쳐 돌려도.
In the worst case scenario, Dante could turn the clock all day and not be able to bring us back. This is definitely a new Ishmael face. She is not happy. This is...
다시 원래대로 돌아가지도 못할 수 있다고요.
What if we encounter something we can never come back right from?
특히 그 거대한 고래는
Especially that monstrous whale. Never mind.
설명해도 못 알아들을 것처럼 말하지 마라. 어?
Oh, don't do that. Like I won't understand a thing. What if the four colors will reappear at any moment?
말도 못 알아듣는
Red, white, black, and pale.
열받으니까.
I'm not going to treat it like a stupid sod. They exist in some form, because, like, they've all... Red, white, black, and pale, they've all got their own meaning, because red is physical, white is mental, black damage is erosion, aka, like, your mind and body melting away at once, and pale is damage dealt to the soul directly. So they all definitely could exist in some way. They do have some meaning behind them, and they do correlate to, like, the Four Horsemen. Stuff like that. They definitely could reappear. Oh, wait, you mean the color fixers? Like the White Ordeal? Or do you mean the actual damage types? Because for the actual color fixers, I don't think they're real. They're just figments of Bane's imagination, but... If we're talking about the damage types, then yeah, they do exist in some forms. That's what, like Servant of Wrath and even Yan in Ruina, that's what the erosion status effect was. That was black damage. There's a Pale Horse that got scraped. Yes, there is. Pale Horse Abno. No, the damage. Yeah, that's what I thought originally. I was wondering for a second, but yeah, damage types. Because erosion, we have seen erosion through Yan. Because that's what... Because black damage is erosion. And pale damage is a bit harder to understand, like, really, because damage to the soul, it's a lot more conceptual than the others. But it definitely, like, reappear in some sense. Because, like, early, like, concept stuff for Limbus, the 4 damage types were going to return, but they were replaced by the Sin Horsemen. You!
자, 말씀 좀 여쭙겠소.
Now, if you will allow me to inquire, oh, Yi-sung's being confrontational! His character arc. Pale is death. Yeah, pale is like death damage dealt directly like the soul. It's perhaps because he was never the type to do such a thing. But the crowd immediately fell silent when Yi-sung suddenly, loudly, and uncharacteristically intruded upon their argument.
그대들 버스에서 제법 하고픈 것이 많다 하지 않았는가?
Let us call to mind the various desires of ours that we were so enthusiastically proclaimed on our journey here.
과업이 남은 것은 사실이나 소기의 목표를 달한 것도 사실이요. 그렇다면
It is true, there is still significant toil to be had, yet it can also be said that we have accomplished a certain milestone. Perhaps a momentarily respite is warranted.
단테, 이 정도는
Isn't
괜찮지
that true,
않겠소?
Dante? Yi-sung! This is the first time Yi-sung appeared so dependable since we started our plus journey. He's growing. I nodded emphatically. Yeah, I agree with Yi-sung. I think we can slow down for a bit and do some team-building activities together. How's that sound? Do you know about SS3? There's a Lottie server they added Pale Horse. I do know vaguely about SS13. I've never played it. I do know vaguely about the LobCorp stuff, though. Adding the Pale Horse, that's funny. It is a definitely interesting sounding Abno, kind of like showing up before someone dies. It's like a omen.
네, 조금 쉬고 계셔도 될
Sure,
것
I
같네요.
think you guys can take some time
저희
off.
쪽에서 준비가 되면 말씀드릴게요.
We'll let you know once we're ready.
저기 그렇다면
Excelsior! In that case.
비치 볼리볼 다들 하지 않겠는가?
I say that we partake in a game of volleyball! With Don Quixote's well-timed assist, the almost icy mood seemed to defrost slightly. There, it was good. That's cool to hear. I might try that sometime then. I feel like I've heard decent stuff about then. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a future stream. Beach volleyball? What am I doing on this for words? Nothing new yet. That's fine. And this is going to be another normal fight after this redoable one. Dawn English moment. It's so funny because like it's happened a couple times in Limbus, but I feel like there were never any like English type moments. Now, of course, like I'm no idiot. I know English is not the correct term to describe this at all because Korean. But like I don't know how else to convey it. Just the idea of like English words being said in non-English languages. Beach volleyball. Taking Don Quixote and Yisong's advice to mend the growing rift between Ishmael and the other sinners, I decided that we should all try out a few rounds of beach volleyball. Maybe this episode can be an opportunity to build some rapport. Yeah, think so. And this team's been working fine. I'll stick with
옳은
it.
선택일까?
본인이 똑똑히 보았다네.
I have witnessed it myself.
분명 밀려들어온 태풍과 쓰레기들 사이에서 공 같은 것이 있었음을.
There was, and I speak with certainty, what hath appeared to be a ball of sorts amongst the stranded trash.
공도 있고 사람도 해변도 있으니 이럴 때 놀지 않는다는 것은 불합리하다고 해도 과언이
It
아니지
be no
않겠는가?
puffy to say that 'tis true injustice to deny ourselves merriment when on ball, able bodies and beach shall await us.
이걸 해변이라고 부를 수 있는지는 모르겠지만요.
We really call this a beach, though.
곁에 여기 놀러 온 거 아니라니까?
Don Quixote, I told you, we're not here for a vacation.
본인도 아오. 주어는 고마우나 우리 모두의 단합을 위해 잠시
Why is the
휴식하는
beach
것이 도움이
so
되지
yucky? We actually don't know the reason why. It's almost certainly because of U-Corp's singularity, though. This is probably due to their singularity probably causes all sorts of awful, like, trash to show up in the ocean. That's my best guess. We don't know yet, though. We just know that there are these trash crabs and a horrible trash beach in the back streets of, like, the shore. But I am well aware, dear Gregor, I appreciate thine advice, yet I simply do not have it within mine heart to deny such a proposal when an opportunity to bring us together presents itself.
그래. 앞으로는 표정이라도 숨기면서
He's
말하는
old.
게 어때?
Yeah, okay. At least hold back that big grin next time, why don't you? Dawn is what we call delusional. Yeah, she is. He's like... I honestly admire it. I admire the abnormal optimism she holds in awful situations. It's very odd to see in the city. That's for sure.
아니, 나도 동의야.
I'm in agreement with Don Quixote.
이상 씨?
Yes. Yisong's really like... God, he's doing so great. Gregor's a softie. He is.
돌이켜보면 벗들과 이렇다 할 체육 활동을 한 적도 없어.
Upon reflection, I have no memory of engaging in such a sport with my fellows. So he's regretting the fact he never got to play beach volleyball with the League of Nine. So he's like, maybe I can play with you guys instead.
구기 종목에 특출한 재능이 있는 것은 아니지만 이참에 경험하는 것도 귀중할 테지.
I cannot say that I'm particularly talented in games of the ball variety, but it's just as good a time as any to experience it for once. They're acknowledging the soccer thing, where Yisong was in on like the soccer team for the one like soccer tournament thing. That's the joke. That's incredible. It is funny when they like vaguely acknowledge meme stuff. Don Quixote's book, yeah. I read the Don Quixote book, at least the first one. I think there's a lot of them or something like that. I don't know the specifics. I read one of them and it was interesting. I definitely did the pointing like oh yo thing when it brought up Song of Roland. Ethan and Gregor the Sinners I relate to the most. Yeah. They are very cool. But yeah, this is a reference to the soccer game thing, which is an incredible thing to reference.
해봄이 어떤가? 빨리
Let us
볼.
partake in this game of volleyed balls.
아 참.
준비가 안 됐는데.
We're so not ready. Ishmael just knows they're all gonna die horrible deaths of the whale. Whatever the whale is. And Heathcliff is still super annoyed. It makes sense that Heathcliff's gonna get a lot of, like, showcase in this chapter and the next one, since he's gonna get chapter 6. It's gonna be a volleyball tournament, no?
한그렇게 봄이나 튀기고 있을 때가 아닌데.
I don't know.
애초에 우리는 요새 너무
This is the time to play ball games. We've been slacking too much as of late. Yeah, you were too lucky last time. Ishmael's starting to practically ooze all over with an ominous aura. Might be a good idea to divert her attention for a bit. Let's play beach volleyball.
현명한 선택이요. 내가 공을 찾아오겠네.
Wise decision. I shall retrieve El Ballon.
아, 그 참.
Oh boy.
관리자께서 결정하신 유희다. 모두 표정 풀고 기쁘게 받들도록.
Oh, he's like, yes, manager. Sir. Yes, manager. Sit down to an activity designated by none other than our executive manager. Everyone quit grimacing and accept it with gratitude. Maybe the whale is a machine. Maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. We need to see more of U-Corp, that's for sure. I think the idea of the whale possibly being like an abnormality that escaped through the crack in the well is very high possibility. It could be a machine. It could be like something like that. It's I don't know.
알았다고. 아,
Okay. I just hope I don't pull my back playing this game. You like fight. You're an active warrior, Gregor. You shouldn't be worrying about pulling your back playing volleyball.
경기 규칙과 규격은 알고 있다. 직접 경기장을 그리도록 하지.
I'm aware of the rules and the specifications of this game. Allow me to draw the arena. Mersault's definitely the kind of guy who knows distances by heart and can draw like the perfect shape for the volleyball court, like down to the exact specific like legal measurements. There were grumbling simmers, beaming sitters, reticent sinners. The reactions were all varied, but everyone eventually moseyed out to an empty lot to play beach volleyball. I stretched, hoping that this activity would help break up the tense atmosphere. Some time later.
자, 그럼
Now,
가겠어.
let us commence! The field was drawn over a squelchy mudflat. The worn ball rocked into the air with Don Quixote's serve.
이렇게 하는 것이
Is this how the game is played? With Yisung's nice received, it was starting to look like we had a proper game going.
그렇지.
Yup.
잘하네.
You're pretty good.
어이구야.
Yup.
쓸데없는 짓이.
Meaningless, all of this. Yeah, she is not enjoying this. Considering his personality, you could see IRL as Yisung, Gregor, Sinclair, Rodion, Honglu, and Fast. I think... I don't know, it's definitely hard to see. I think a lot of them do exist partially IRL in some aspects, like... There's definitely like people that relate to all of the sinners. I mean, I've already seen, there's fans of every single one of the sinners. Ishmael's not happy here. Otis is absolutely doing her best. She's gonna win for Dante's sake.
오티스 씨.
Otis,
방금
I think that sir would have killed me if I hadn't dodged in time.
것 같은데.
Ishmael's having a distortion moment. She's not having it. She is not. She's like, we're going to die to the whale. The fog is coming. The fog is coming. And they're just playing volleyball, and Ishmael's just like literally melting.
훈련의 일종이다.
It's a part of our training. Did I hear that right? Did she just unsheath her sword? Was that a metal sound? Ryoshu, you're not supposed to hit the ball with your sword. She probably just hit it with the hilt of her sword. Ryoshu hasn't unsheathed her sword at all yet, so it's probably just the hilt, but funny.
내가 받았어.
I've received thy ball.
이럴 시간에 고래의 특징이라도 공부해둔다면.
The weak thing is always, we're wasting time. We could use to study the whale's characteristics. You want us to read up on the whale? You want us to read up on the whale, really? Study the whale.
대호수를 건너갈 나침반도
We don't even have a compass to guide us through the Great Lake. Interesting. Needing a compass to guide you through the Great Lake. So do you physically need a compass to find your way through the Great Lake? I assume it's some sort of magical compass then. Nothing normal. Gregor's a war vet, Yisung is your average worker, Sinclair is trauma, Parasnostic, Rodion is gambler. Ishmael's story, yeah.
젠장.
And that, yeah, wow, it's just like her ego quote. She's talking about Ahab, most likely. Unless she's talking about someone differently, it's almost certainly Ahab. But Ahab's not gonna die in her chapter, almost certainly. He's gonna be like the Gulo or like the Demian, like the one who's the villain who survived. And it's gonna be born later on.
진짜!
Heathcliff is not happy. Heathcliff, unable to stand Ishmael's attitude any longer, kicked the ball with enough force that it just might burst. She said. As the ball flew away with the mark and towards the boundary separating its pristine beach we saw a few days ago. Did the ball just off?
네, 가시되지 않는 플라즈마 장이 형성되어 있는 것 같군요.
It most certainly has. There appears to be a field of plasma invisible to our eyes. Ishmael could be Ahab? I don't know about that. I feel like that'd be a strange take to make about it. But I guess it does make sense because Ahab was the one obsessed with the whale. If that's what you're getting at, then oh, that is a nest. Yeah, that's the actual nest of the core. Field of plasma. Who put a field of plasma on a bee?
둥지와 뒷골목을 구분하기 위한 일종의 장치죠.
A barrier of sorts
형식은
installed to separate the nest
제각각이더라도
from the backstreets.
모든
Along the
둥지의
borders of
경계에는
every nest are
비슷한
installations
것들이
that serve the same
존재합니다.
function, though their specific methods may vary. So I think what they're saying is here, these lines are probably invisible to the actual eye. They're just showing this to us so we, as the viewer, actually knows.
뻔하지. 뒷골목 사람들이 둥지로 못
Of
끼어들어오게
course, there are
하려는
always fences and whatnot to stop
어디에나
backstreets
있으니까.
residents from crawling into their precious nest.
그런데 말이야. 저 기술로는 흔적도 안 남게 할 수도 있었을 텐데.
With that technology, they could have simply made the ball disappear without a trace instead of leaving the torn mess, which gotta mean
보란 듯이 터뜨려 버려서 그것마저도 오라고.
they won't enjoy watching clueless souls be ripped to pieces, I bet. Glad the rich folks are having so much fun with our lives. Yeah, like these guys are watching. They're watching the poor folks, that's for sure, and just smiling. I don't like this person in particular. I don't like all their smiles, actually. They're all very creepy looking right now.
기술의 구체적인 의도나 과시성에 대해서는
I have no comment to make
제 쪽에선
regarding
말할
the
수 있는
device's
게
particular
없군요.
purpose or its sadistic nature.
콩. 한 시간이나
It took me a
걸려서
whole hour of my time to procure us the ball.
다들 정신 차려. 저 꽁 터지는 소리 때문에
Brace yourself. The sound of the ball popping attracted the trash crabs.
너 이따가 보자.
Chat after this. I really thought this could be the activity to dramatically bring us all together. What kind of hell? Why does this keep happening?
뭐, 이제는 익숙해질 때도
Isn't it
되지
about time you
않았나
got
관리
used to
장관?
this, Manager Bud?
저것 때부터 빠르게
Come on, let's
처리하자고.
first take care of business. Yep. Okay. A lot's happening here. Oh, here's more of the fierce crabs.
다치시지 않게
Thank you,
싸우셨으면
trash
좋겠어요.
crabs. Like, they're the exact same, we just didn't see them for some reason. There we go.
박살내주마.
Very odd stuff going on.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
적출할게요.
파쇄 완료.
Okay, good damage,
오,
good
머리 좋다,
damage.
칸테. 방금 완전 좋았어.
자.
우리가 우세. 서둘러 끝내보자고.
We're gonna get a big pride residence off here. Nice.
무슨 맛일까?
Should be good. I mean, the crab's already dead. We didn't need it, but we got it. And Ishmael's got a large scrammer count right now, so she could spend it to just inflict a bunch of fragile on someone with her tertiary, which we will do. That's for sure.
무슨 맛일까?
흙으로서 다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을
이
것이.
공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
So far, we've seen 4 crabs in total. So far, all the fights have played off like normal battles, no Abno fight type battles. I wonder if the big crab will be counted as an Abno type battle.
피는 확실히 빼는 편이 좋지.
다음에는 머리다.
We've seen the 3 damage types, and then we've probably the mortar shot crab.
적확한 하나비였어.
That killed the first thing, so she didn't get her funny camera flip. How sad.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을
I do not know what to think about the Morphs. They came back from the library, but were they one of the last or first to do it? It seems like that's what Virgilius is trying to figure out too. Virgilius is trying to figure out the pattern. Someone he wants to get. I mean, I assume he'd want to get back at Iori, but like the thing is, he knows Iori got out of the library.
못 살게 구는 일은
He knows
없을
Palmer got out of
것이.
the library. I don't see how he'd have anyone else. Do the crabs have sin resistance? Yes, they do. They're weak to gloom and sloth, and they resist gluttony and lust.
개와
But it's still a normal fight, so
이 순간을
I don't know if that's for
어딘가
gameplay
담고
purposes
싶어.
or for story purposes. It's hard to say. Dissolution. Oh, and it looks like the guy's like yellowish. The next one. Well, we're getting close to the end anyways, that's for sure. I love the sounds though. So funny. A bunch more scrap here. So yeah, we're definitely going to have enough to get the Sinclair identity after probably before the end of the stream. We're gonna get the Sinclair identity. It'll be a while before I can get the Soda one, but I'll probably grind for that myself on my own. Iori directed Cosmos to join the Limbus Company. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely not related to Iori, I don't think. But I'm not sure why. He kind of like looked at Faust too, so maybe Limbus as a whole wants someone in particular. I don't know who though. That's the thing. Because Iori's the only one who would make sense, really. No one else being related to the library is like that important, because like stuff like Blue Reverb's not coming back, like Hallie's not coming back because we kept a page of the Red Mist. She didn't get like released into the world or something. Hard to say. We're definitely gonna see more of them. We're definitely gonna see more people coming for about. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these mid chapters is gonna feature Zhao and Lowell. Although that may be a bit ways away. See my message? You're talking about how Rodion and Heath. I don't think I've been seeing your messages. What are you? I think your messages didn't go through. You're talking about how Rodion and Heath generally dislike the upper class. Well, yeah, that makes sense because that's how their stories go. Because Rodion like killed like the business. She killed like the tax woman because of like the oppression stuff like that. Prying children, Yon may be more dangerous. We don't know if prying children are escaped. That's the thing. Yon isn't really a threat, that's the thing, because Yon's just going to keep on working for the Index now. Because Yon's still distorted. They stay in the forms they were in when they entered the library, most likely. Prying children may be dead, though. Because from what we can tell, after the Philip comes back, I'm going to distort. Fitting for... I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Philip, like, when he got released after, like, actually dying... When he died to the library and got booked, I'm pretty sure when he came back afterwards, it was probably him and all the Crying Children pieces. That's my belief. I don't think he's coming back. But if so, if he's back, we're gonna see him when we get to V Corp, because we know that's where Dawn Office is, because that's the one he raised. I think he's like gone though, like the rest of the Reaver ensemble. It's just a shame. I like a lot of them. I mean, 8 O'Clock Circus is probably still around, even if Oswald's gone. I think Emma and Noah will probably like carry it on if they can. Stuff like that. And like 8 Chefs are completely gone. Church of Gears might still be around. I have a feeling that without their leader, they kind of just fell apart. Blood Fiend still exists. Elena was the was like kind of a Blood Fiend of her own, not one who was with the others. 2 of the children coming back to be funny because only the Silent Shadow escaped. Hard to say what happened to Philip because he's the only case of the distorting that got separated. Indeed. I mean, judging by his like full distortion form, that was probably him like re-merging with the other 2 when in the light. I don't know though. We'll see in times. Or to will lash out indiscriminately, so be careful. Will do. You will live with only child who will probably be able to live with only 2 too. We'll see. 8 O'Clock Circus is not gone, but yeah, Oswald's gone, but the other 2 are probably still around. The real question is Miss Mermaid and Mr. Knife still alive? Because they were with Oswald in the final fight. So did they die? Probably. But, like the rest of the animals are fine. They probably released like the lion, the monkey, and the elephant. And it seems like the reception's probably... It seems like Rain, Olga, and Mika all fell, like, they all woke up in different places at different times, but still vaguely close enough to each other if they were able to find each other. So I don't really think they have any sort of communication stuff. there's a decent chance each of the receptions will still like awaken in areas like where they're near each other.
우리 편.
Although I say that, but like Tomry sure didn't have the other Lovetown residents there. Hard to say. At least, I mean, the good thing is we were kind of like worried that if they went back to the place they actually came out of, they would have just been in the warp train. Does Molar Rapids know about the warp train stuff? Then isn't that kind of bad for W Corp? You want to see Blade Lineage specifically Bamboo had it in. Emma and Noah still sewed together. Emma and Noah are there. They honestly seem to be like genuinely like happy. That's the thing. They seem to like be actually genuinely happy. I don't think. I think hopefully they're doing well. 8 o'clock circus themed like mid chapter would be funny. You'd have to use. I want to see a lot of the general receptions. I think a lot of the general receptions were super fun mechanically. I do worry that Sinclair is supposed to be Kim because he does have claim their bones, although it is not to claim their bones you know and love. Not quite the same. He got buffed though with his upside 4, so he's not like bad anymore. But like, hard to say. Pulls up off the escape though. What about full stop office? Am I forgetting something I just said? I might be. I'm really not paying attention to like the moves I'm making because I know it's not hard. I'm just going with whatever. I'm not using any egos or anything. Now to think about it, was there even a book of Lifetime people? Wasn't there only Tomer? That is true. Sinclair's not Kim though. He does not have the open co-op. Yusan does. Yeah. I don't know. Blade Lineage is weird because it's a syndicate, so there's not really like. They're called like Blade Lineage Solitude and stuff that wasn't in Runa. Yep. I guess the question is, so the enemies you fought that didn't have books, it was the Lovetown Grunts, and it was also the 3 animals from the 8 o'clock circus reception. Those are the ones that didn't have their own books, alongside, of course, the other circus animals from later on. They also died in the library, but they escaped the blue reverb. Yeah. Hey, Ishmael. Yes. Can we talk at least for a bit? I called over to Ishmael once the battle was over. Vermilion Cross in books. That's true as well. He's as far as I know, it's based on they return in whatever state they were in when they entered the library. So, for example, Vermilion Cross, if he came back, he would still be like a vampire. He's probably like dead if Elena's dead. Chances are, like, without Elena, he just kind of fails to function. So the bamboo hat, that is true. So that if that is the case, that means Zhao does not have ego. But I don't know for sure, because if they remember their time in the library, it seems. They remember dying. So they might just return to the state they were in when they died, but that wouldn't make the most sense for Tomery, because, like, you know, Tommy, like, dies and it's only Mary left. But I guess they both came back because they both died and they both came back together. Something like that. It's hard to say. Right, I've never done anything like this before. I don't even know if this is the right thing to do or what kind of results this conversation is going to yield, but I can't just sit here and watch. Yeah, whatever. It looks to me that you've been preoccupied with something ever since we got here. After 4.5 turns mentioned the library, then Muller just drops the bomb. So funny. It was mentioned by... The reindeer Ishmael identity mentions the library. Which is so insane because, like, it's just a one-off vague mention. And that's all we had before this. You know, you're not really participating in group activities and things like that. They're scolding her. I wonder if we'll ever get full body prosthetic center IDs. Maybe. I feel like they don't want to do anything that makes them look significantly different, though, because, you know, that's why those have been the only thing that's, like, ever changed hair at all is Grip Faust. Otherwise, it's all pretty much, like, one-to-one with their, like, hair in their head and stuff. Because they want to make the centers each very recognizable on their own, so I don't know about full body prosthetics.
당연하죠. 중요한 건 따로 있는데 여기서 정신 놓고 희희낙낙하고 있으니까요.
Isn't it obvious? There's something more important at hand, but they're all busy enjoying themselves, playing this stupid game. Something more important. Is this about the Great Lake?
네.
Yes. That we, in our current state, shouldn't go there.
네.
Right, so why do you think that we don't have a chance against whatever is there?
말씀드렸잖아요. 아직
I
준비가
told
안
you.
됐으니까.
We're not ready.
적어도
We're going to need at least
당연히
half a year to acclimate to the
호수와
Great Lake and the
그것들에게
things that
익숙해질
are
필요가
there.
있다고요. 아니면 그에 상응하는 경험을 더
Or we could try to gain
쌓는다던가요.
more experience, enough to
관리자님도
overwhelm our
마찬가지예요.
disadvantages.
적어도
And that goes the same for you,
자신의
Dante.
몸을
You need to
지킬
be strong
정도는
enough to at least take care of yourself.
아,
Which I can
관리자님의
help with.
단련이라면 제가
And
도울 수
Otis,
있어요.
I'm sure she can
그리고
help with your training
오티스
too.
씨도 분명 관리자님을 돕는
They're trying to.
것에는
Ishmael's
협조하겠죠.
trying to say that Dante needs to learn how to fight. If push
그럴
comes
만한
to shove.
상황이 온다면
Yeah. But wait. Half a year, Ishmael. We just don't have that much time to spare.
호비?
Really?
허비라고
Is that why we're playing
생각하시나요?
beach volleyball? Because we don't have the time to
지금
spare.
저희가 하고 있는 짓들이 더 허비 같은데요. 그리고
And
뭐
Not like I'm saying that we
놀고
should just
있자고
sit on our butts
말씀드린 게
and do nothing for half a
아니잖아요.
year. I'm saying we should
그저
visit our destinations
행선지를
first
잠시 다른
before
곳으로
coming back
돌렸다가
here.
돌아오면 되는 건데요.
그건 불가능합니다. 모든 구획의 황금가지를
That is
파악한 것도 아닐
impossible.
뿐더러
Not every location of golden bows in the nest has been identified, and the support team hasn't completed their preliminary surveys yet.
핑계는
Excuses.
다른 잘난 이유가 있다는 것쯤은
I've known
오래전부터
for a
알고
while that you have
있었어요.
had some fancy ulterior motive. You want hard story content? I think hard story content could be good. I feel like it would be rough. Whether or not hard story content, I'm fine with hard content being optional. Like, I don't really want people to be like gated from progressing in the story. Although I do think more casual filters might be nice, all things considered. I really think that, but like that's kind of toxic, so I don't really genuinely think that too much. I think she's just paranoid, but it might be actually difficult. We'll see. And whatever that is, this is a mistake you won't ever forget.
이번엔
그럴지도.
Perhaps.
개판이네
What a
저거.
mess.
그러면 적어도 상세한 항해
In that
계획과
case,
전투
we should
방향을
at least map a detailed sailing route and plan out a combat strategy.
듣자니까.
Rattling on and on and on. You want to see a mirror drug from the life and use movie characters and things, seeing all the realities, something like that. Yeah, that was a very interesting like scene. Just like Denver staring at like the chicken bones or whatever it was. That's when I thought our discussion was reaching a stalemate. Heathcliff butted in.
당신은 또 뭔데요?
What's your problem?
닥쳐.
Quit your job.
너 혼자
I think you're the
계속
only one struggling here. We've all died more times than we can count. Every single one of us.
이번에도
So I'm telling you that it'll work out again, somehow.
그러니까
But I'm telling you that the Great Lake is different. What if the manager drowns?
관리자님이
What if that thing eats?
수정당해도 끝이고
Then our bodies can't be
그것에
recovered.
우리가 먹혀서 더는 시간을 되돌리지 못할
I
수도
do wonder if,
있다고.
like, it's gonna be... the idea of, like, a robot whale is actually kind of, like, clicking to me. Like, what if the Blobcorp facility is inside of the whale? Surely not. Surely not.
알아듣겠어요?
You understand? This isn't like
지금까지의
anything we've been
상식으로
through so far.
움직이다간
See the
진짜
end of
우리는
us.
끝장날 수도 있다고요. 그러면
And I...
그
I'm gonna
새끼도
have a
못
chance.
죽일 테고.
It's the ego quote again. She wants to kill Ahab.
좋아. 네 말이
Oh.
맞다고 쳐. 이대로 가면 우린 다
Think about it, those
돼지고
crabs...
나도 캐.
Are those crabs are natural adversaries like birds are? Basically what Ish is saying, they exist for a long time, yet they have sin resistance. They actually did talk about that earlier on. But Dante, because remember, Dante can, like, sense, like, whether or not something's an abnormality or distortion or something like that for some reason because of his clockhead. And their like, reaction to it was, this is not an abnormality, this is not a distortion, this is a natural, like, mutation. Or, quote-unquote, natural. It's probably because of Euclid. But Heath is the sinner associated with lust. No, he's associated with envy. Okay, let's say that we're right. If we go now, we're all gonna bite it, and I won't be able to get get back up, Kathy. By the way, Gregor has a Sephiroth on his arm. Don't worry, I know. It bothers me so much how it's just unmentioned. He's got like the multiple floor symbols just on his arm. And it wasn't mentioned in this chapter at all. We're definitely getting more Gregor like content later on, of course. You got the shortest chapter. And his ego, yeah. Abnormalities shouldn't be edible. I mean, in Wonderlab, Cat sure does just drink like the one Abno in an attempt to kill herself, but lives. Plenty of abnormalities are perfectly edible. Yeah, here Heathcliff is talking about Cat again. So what's wrong with fapping about for a little while? What are those whales working out or something? You've been mucking up the mood ever since we got here, so how about we use some bloody common sense to not bring everyone else down with you?
제법 웃기네요.
That's rich coming from you, Heathcliff.
당신이 뭘
But
안다고
common
상식을
sense, you of the
내놔요.
Great Lake. Have you ever seen a whale? Since when were you such a know-it-all?
데우스에 가본 적이나 있고?
This chapter's not nearly as lighthearted as I was expecting it to be. Makes sense. I will eat small bird. No, eat the small bird cookie. That's what it exists for, to be eaten. Well, cheers. Yeah, well, cheers as well.
배 위의
What do you even
생활에
know what a
대해서는
sailor's
알기나
life?
해요.
Huh. How would you know? Although you're whining about your girlfriend or something, dozing off on the bus and throwing a hissy fit once in a while. Oh no, he's involved.
버스에 기대 졸다가 참남엔
First look, I
성질나
thought
벼락박
these was
내는
Lessa's
때는
Catherine's relationship with Keith. I understand where that's coming from, but here's the thing. Project Moon uses lust as kind of more so a lust for, like, power, glory, stuff like that. Project Moon doesn't use lust in, like, the traditional sense, because, like, that's not their style, usually. What's natural, the question is, what are the sin resistance in the first place? I thought it's clearly resistant to light and abnormalities, but if it isn't, then what? That's way different from less I can do. Yeah, that's the question. It might just be a gameplay thing that they've got sin weaknesses. It's hard to say, though. How is he going to react? Not happily. With it. Ooh.
물 아래에서 기어오는
Really
것과
detailed about
하늘
everything
위에서
from the depths of the
떨어지는 것.
waters to the height of the sky is
모든
crawling and
것들을 죽여야
falling onto
하고.
the deck. Sinners who are know-it-alls are Faust, Yisung, and Otis. I think Faust's the only one that's an actual know-it-all. Otis possibly. Yisung is, well... He's the kind... He's a... Like, what's the joke? Like... Intelligence is thinking you know everything, but wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. Something like that. Like, Yisung's intellect comes from, like, the fact that he knows he doesn't know everything. It's like curiosity, stuff like that. Innumerable disasters like acid typhoons, tuna tsunamis, cerebra storms, and multitudes of other terrors of lake I can't even recall the names of. God. And from the storms, high waves as tall as mountains, falling that those monsters that wash up onto death. Look away for a moment and your mate who you trusted with your life is slain. Everyone and everything was maddened or transformed into something else entirely abominably. So is Queequeg dead then? Your mate who you trusted with your life is slain. Is this about Queequeg? Is Queequeg dead? I don't know how you pronounce that name. It's a stupid name, but that's like Ishmael's like good pal in the boat. In the book. I don't know why I said boat. Something that a pathetic, lovey-dovey tenderfoot like you. God. The two English sinners are fighting it up. I'll never understand, not after dying 100 deaths. I think Honglu and Yisung are smart enough to know about stuff but don't say it. Second F word in his name, permissionals. You missed it. I think someone else said it earlier already. I think Heathcliff said it about Ishmael. That's the third one. There's two of them this chapter so far. Also, in case you don't know, there's one less. There's at least one less I know of in the English translation, because apparently at the end of Canto 4, when Dante says like "screw you" to Alfonso, apparently he does say the F word there in Korean, but it's translated to "screw you" instead. I don't know the specifics. I don't know Korean. I told you to quit it. Warning him to step in. Heathcliff swung wildly at Ishmael. You don't know about me, I'm you. Fellows. The tussle was such a blitz that no one could attempt to intervene. Yisung almost looked pitiful as he stood there bewildered. For a moment, it appeared as though Heathcliff had the upper hand as his fist struck Ishmael right in her jaw. Ah! Whoa! Just as Ishmael appeared to throw a punch, she kicked Heathcliff's leg, throwing him to the ground. Ishmael, wait! In the blink of an eye, Ishmael took up her mace. God. He raises the mace high, as though she could strike down at any moment. Her arm trembled with uncontrollable fury. Yeah, what'll you do? Bash my head in, like I did you before.
내가 전에 했던 것처럼 죽여.
Fine, kill me. No matter, I'll be right as rain in a minute.
어차피 나하고 다를 거라
I was a
생각하는
fool to think you'd be any different from me. Yeah, they are both they're like the two, like, revenge sinners. They're all about, they've got revenge as their main focus. They're blinded by it. They're a lot more alike than they are different.
역시 다들
Everyone's the same after all. Well, look at that. He's not happy. I wasn't sure what caused her sudden change of heart, but it was a relief of sorts at least. She looked at Heathcliff with her eyes wide open and dropped the mace to the ground. So what did he say exactly? Everyone's the same after all. So my prediction is that something similar was said by Ahab to Ishmael.
이런 불상사를 다시
I
보고
wish that
싶지
I would not have again be witness to such belligerency amongst friends. Well, poor Yi-sung, he just wants everyone to be good friends. Yi-sung's like, well, I'm fully over my traumas, so I'm just down for whatever. Yeah.
결국
Yeah, such
벗들과의
quarrels among
다툼을
fellows is
피할
but an
수가 없는
a look
일인가.
ability, perhaps.
쟤네 보니까 우리 옛날 생각나지 않아? 저렇게 치고받고 싸울 때가
No, that brings me
있었는데.
back, watching them fight. He used to tussle just like they do now.
누님, 쉿.
Thank you, Olga, for lightening the mood.
단테, 첫 임무로부터
Dante, I
큰
neglected to
분란이
mention this
발생한
to you
적은
since we have not
없었기에
had a dispute like this since our
이야기하지
first mission.
수감자들의 업무 불안은
But you could be
관리
held
실패로
responsible in the
간주되어
future for
주
management
귀책
failures should a
사유를 물을 수
similar
있습니다.
workplace conflict arise. What was I supposed to do about this? It was what I wanted to say, but I managed to hold my metaphorical tongue. Brody and Greg are probably friends at a minimum. Yeah,
이것이 어떻게 관리자님의
how does the
책임이지?
fault lie with the executive
저
manager's house?
머저리들이 멋대로
It's
싸울 수
those two
뿐이지 않나?
fools who got into this senseless altercation. Sinclair also hasn't reacted nicely to going to K-Corp, and but Ishmael's reacting similarly is interesting. Yeah, Sinclair was panicking. Ishmael's going full on insane.
그러한 일을
Preventing
벌어지지 않게 하는
senseless
것이
altercation between coworkers is the
관리라는
job
직무죠.
of a manager. You
이놈. 그만해요,
happened
여러분.
everyone.
맞소.
Indeed, such behavior ill-fits the heroic nature of Limbus Company.
컴퍼니와는 어울리지 않.
Sinclair's hesitance, Don Quixote's attempts to defuse, Faust's impassive voice, and Otis's increasingly rising voice in my defense. All of that combined was starting to get incredibly irritating. Stop. Guys, enough. I had no other recourse left at the moment. Ishmael, Heathcliff. What? The two of you. Stop working together for a while. Distance yourselves. At least until I can think of a way to deal with you two.
나라고 저 면상.
Not like I enjoy looking at her mug. Okay. Yeah, we're absolutely getting Red Riding Hooded Mercenary and Big and Woolly Bad Wolf egos for these two. It's gotta be the case, especially after this. Dawn is the most likely sinner to kill someone for littering. You gotta respect it. Heroic nature of Limbus Company, Dawn is as always. She is. Thus, the mood fell into a pit as depressing as this mud flat. Okay, we have an approximate quote now, so feel free to go collecting those scraps. We spent the next few days collecting scraps with the rest of the sinners. Are they gonna make us get a certain amount of scraps before we can progress with the story? They mentioned something about there being certain stages that require some amount of scraps to do. Will they actually do that, though? 45%, yeah, you've been doing the most.
어딘가
Pretty comedic. Time to collect scrap. More stuff. Red Riding Hood and Big Mad Wolf Ego would be lit. Yeah. I guess there is also the Wonder Lab variants. Blue Smock Shepherd and Red Buddy. Wait, huh? Oh, what are you hawing about? If it's about, like, the whole thing about, like, the certain things requiring certain amount of the scraps. I think in the post about this from earlier this week, last one requires scraps. Yeah, okay, so it's just the bonus one then, yeah? Or is it the actual last? We'll see. There's no need to actually answer, which is interesting. Situation bleaker than the colors mud flap, but we have to keep collecting more scrap. And this is another repeatable one. And thanks to the fact it costs modules instead. God, look at that. She's not doing great. Something Heathcliff said is just triggering Ahab memories, that's for sure. Well, I'm not too worried. I've already gotten both of the actual event things, so I'm getting my 80% multiplier for scrap. Blue Smock Shepherd would be like Otis or Mersault, and the dog can be gone. I don't think there's any relationship that really fits how bad Blue Smock Shepherd and Red and Buddy is. Like, once again, Blue Smock Shepherd is single-handedly, like, the worst character in the entire series. From, like, like, intentionally, of course. I don't mean that as in, like, worst written. I mean he's, like, the least likable character in the entire series. They are. Because, you know, they just are rude. Minimum amount of scraps needed before you can unlock it. I don't know. I hope we don't get Blue Smock Shepherd and Red and Buddy, because like they're unwholesome. Or Red and Buddy. He's just a little dog, and the Blue Smock Shepherd is very mean. Okay, they're almost done for, so we can finish them off.
완전히 녹아내렸네. 이제 쓸만해졌고. 나이스! 하나 제꼈다.
Mersault does command Dawn. It's not the relationship is not bayonet artillery. Molten shell shot. Oh, he's got ammo. Battlestar gain 1 molten shell shot. Red and Wolf are wholesome, right, XD? Well, it's not like they're rivals, bitter rivals, but Blue Smock Shepherd and Red and Buddy is just kind of like abusive Abno type deal, and there's not really any sinners that I feel like fit an abusive idea. Red and Wolf fit. Yes, Red and Wolf fit Ish and Heath very well. So what do you do with this molten shell shot? 5 target mass attack on hit, spend molten shell shot. So you can only the crab can only use the mass attack when it's got molten shell shot, but it only uses the shell shot after landing a success. Bayonet crab, bayonet artillery crab. How do you just find that on a beach and put it on your back as a hermit crab? That's a full-on cannon with like a bayonet. Are those like wheel? I can't tell. God.
머리통을 박살내주마.
Hermit crab. The Ish is the wolf and Heathcliff is the mercenary. It could go either way. I definitely do think that's a pretty high likelihood, simply because then Heathcliff would have to do wolf egos, which would be very strange. We'll have to see. We don't know their stories fully through yet, but like something like that would make a lot of sense. That's a city beach, so it seems about right. Yeah, that's true. Maybe there's been like a pirate war here. Surely there's gonna be at least are we gonna get like a pirate office when Canto 5 releases? Like surely, right? I really hope that's like the next gonna be like Roseband, or like just start of the season we're gonna get a pirate office with no context on who they actually are. Are the crabs intelligent or something? We actually have no idea. We know literally nothing about these crabs other than the fact that they've, like, been here, like, forever, quote-unquote. Or hive mind. Well, yeah, once again, no clue. Other than the fact they're probably related to, they're probably like a byproduct of U-Corp singularity being water pollution, polluting the ocean.
파쇄 완료.
Russian crab. There we go.